Hey guys, welcome to Corehead Farm Horses and Ponies. We were just practising some of the groundwork for the Liberty, and we're just brushing up on some of the things we've already learnt. So here I'm just asking Jessica to do some Liberty circles. For this exercise you need to ensure that you've got good draw from your horse and that you can send them away and draw them back to you. It's always easiest to start this on the lunge line first, so they understand clearly the cues to go forward. So for instance, if you're going round to the left, you can point with your left hand to ask them to keep going around, then use your whip just to give a little bit of drive behind the drive line to keep them going forward. So we're just working on the draw again here. If you're asking your horse to draw, I always like to think the whip is up when you're asking them to come towards you, and then when they stop in the place that you want them to stay, so the sweet spot, you lower your whip to the floor so they understand that the cue has finished and they just need to stay there. As you can see, sometimes Jessica goes past where I want her to stop, so after I've put the whip to the floor she keeps walking. The way to correct that is just to back them up a little bit, just to remind them that actually no, I want you to stop a little bit further back, and they do eventually understand and they'll start stopping a little bit earlier when the whip comes to the floor. So here I'm using my body language and leaning forward to ask Jessica to keep up and hopefully maybe even trot, but as you can see she's a little bit behind me there. To correct that, I could just reach back and give her a little tap with the whip just to encourage her to keep up with me, but I'm really happy with her draw so far, so I'm not going to correct that at the moment. Here we're just starting to get to grips with the Liberty circles, so she's starting to sort of walk around me a little bit better. So now I'm just going to try out some of the things we've learned so far, but this time we've not got the lead line on at all, so I've got very minimal tack to help back up any cues. So I'm really just hopeful that she's going to respond to the body language cues. So here she's doing really well. She's listening to the hand cues there to move across. Sometimes it's easier to get sidewards movements first rather than forward, just because it's easier to reward a few steps left or right, and the quicker you can reward them, the quicker they learn. For the Liberty I do with Jessica, I use Western cues, but you can actually use any cue, just as long as your horse understands what you're asking. So here I'll simulate a gentle bump on the rein to ask her to move over to the left. So hands forward cue to go forward. It's almost pointing in the direction that you want to go. She's walking out quite nicely there, so I'm going to ask her for the whoa right there. She just turns out a little bit, but that's fine. She'll just get a bit better at this as we go further through the session. This is why it's always good to start Liberty work in a small pen or a school, because you can make use of your fences to help them take away one of the wrong answers. For example, if you want to move your horse's quarters over to the right, line your horse's left hand side up to the fence, use your left leg to move the quarters across, and it takes away the wrong answer for the horse to move to the left. So I'm super excited to share with you guys an idea I've been thinking about for a while, about starting a horse completely at liberty. I watched a documentary about it recently, and I'm fairly confident that I could achieve this, and it would be an amazingly rewarding experience. So firstly, I'd like to know if it's something you guys would be interested in seeing, and if so, I will be on the lookout for a horse around 4 years old to begin its education purely at liberty, and each session will be documented as similar to these videos. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you found the video useful. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to see future videos.